What's good, troopers? So in today's video, I'm actually going to do a roster review for one of my patron members of the 125th Legion. Probably come up on the screen any minute now. He's one of the clone lieutenants. Name is Bullish Yodeller. And he's reached out to me. There he is, actually. He's reached out to me for some help in regards to mods on several teams. So I'm going to go through the list and I'm going to try and advise what I would personally do if I was in his shoes. So let's get on with this video, guys. Let's do this. Okay, so I've got the account loaded up, but first be sure to like and subscribe the video, spread my channel around to your guilds, and doing my best to be able to help out all those free-to-play players, as well as appealing to you whales as well. Now, back to the video, let's have a look. I can see he's already got the 501st team, no ARC Trooper. I believe I recently gave him some advice on that, so I'll have a look. Was it 3.2 million? Not bad, not bad. Oh, Thrawn, that's unusual. We'll get to fleet afterwards. Let's get to his standard teams first. There's a little list that he's given me that he wants to prioritize in the mods he wants me to look at, but I'm just going to see if he's managed to get around to listening to the advice I gave him on the gas team. If I remember right, he had to speed sell something on Anakin before. Okay, he has switched. Yeah, I advised that speed really wasn't all that necessary. I've kind of shown that in videos already, and to switch to either a crit damage with defense or offense with defense. It looks like he has gone in that direction. Let's have a look at these. Not bad, not bad. Look at all that defense. Wow. Good offense on that too. Yeah, nice bit of protection. More protection. Not bad. What's his overall speed? Yeah, 70 is absolutely fine. That's a good 100,000 protection there. It's got the additional crit damage bonus. The offense isn't too shabby either, so look at that armor, 58%, yeah, not bad at all, especially for Relic 4 Anakin. You just don't really need all that high speed or crazy offense. If your defense can negate it, you still pick up like 100% wins. I've still yet to lose with mine, and I've shown you how I mod mine before. Let's have a look at the other clones. Which one's 5s? I think that one. Yes, okie doke. See, he has removed the tenacity that I suggested he remove. It's really not that important. Yeah, he's stuck with the health primaries at the moment. He's brought an offense primary in, which is good to see. But he's kind of, yeah, he's mixed it up a little bit. That's not bad at all. Definite improvement on what it was before. Obviously, going to need those relics to really get the best use out of 5s. Probably the second most important on the team when it comes to relic 7 priority. That'd be no, that's 5s again. I'm clicking on the wrong bloody person. Go back. That's Rex. Looking the other way. Yeah, I think that's exactly the same as it was. Really, Rex is all about speed. He's where your turn meter is going to come from. That'll be Echo, because remember, he doesn't have Arc. He's going all out for that damage. That's what I like to see. Nice slow speed. Yes, he's replaced. He's put an offense primary. Easily recommended, because the sheer fact you get an assist on every single basic. So you're much, much better off going for the offense and making use of that additional damage than you are that little bit extra speed, which for Echo, just really not important. Not important at all. Alright. I see, yeah, he's got to use Ahsoka for now. Has he gone for, yeah, offense primary, crit damage. Really just want to maximize her offense as well. Yeah, that's not bad for Gear 12. Not bad. Right, let's get on to the rest of the teams. Who is his next priority? He wants the Padme team looked at. This should be interesting. I hold my hands up regularly that I am not the world's leading authority on Padme teams. Still kind of perfecting my play of those. Not a team I've ever really deeply investigated, but I've got a rough idea of what you should be doing. Let's have a look at the speeds. Wow, okay. Immediately, Padme's too quick. Padme should not be the fastest on the team. You really want to make use of absorbing some debuffs off outright and then using her special to turn all that into protection up. Saying that, we don't really know how the rest of them are modded yet, so she might not actually be fast. It could be a sheer fact that the others are just way too slow. We'll have a quick look. Let's check Padme out first. She is the heart of the team. Okay, gone full health sets. I would definitely recommend that. Speed. Wow, that's a lot of speed. That is an awful lot of speed. I'd probably switch out the crit chance on the primary of that triangle too, if you have the mods available for that. Really just go for that health, maximize that protection up. She is very fast, so I don't think it's actually because the rest of the team is slow. I think you've just got Padme a bit too quick at the moment. 122, yeah. 21, sorry, yeah, definitely too quick. She's able to quite consistently clear 4 waves in GOTB when she's around 250 to 270. So you're not going to need her up near 300 speed at all. So yes, definitely drop that. Drop a little bit of speed there. Whether you drop this one for a health primary with like nearly no speed on it or something, and perhaps have a health primary arrow available for certain situations. It can be a benefit to have that option so you can swap in as and when you may need it on Padme. I've recently done that myself. She's rocking all health primaries, and I've got around the 250 speed mark, which is doing me absolutely fine in Grand Arena. And yeah, we saw the performance in TB as well. I seem to be able to pull out pretty decent scores with them outside of crazy RNG, which we all have to deal with, and that's just kind of a standard in GOTB anyway. Right, let's have a look at the rest of the team. You said you run Grandmaster Yoda with her. Do you not have 3PO? Oh no, I don't see him. Oh yes, I do. There he is. Why are you running Yoda? It's unusual. Okay, I see a little further down. You're running 3PO with your rebels. Right. Okay, never mind. We'll go with Yoda here. Do you not have Revan? Let's have a look. Oh no Revan yet. Okay, that makes sense why you've got Yoda then. Okay, right. That's fine. Let's have a look at Grandmaster Yoda next. Very low in gear. I guess he's kind of an upcoming project. I suppose if you don't really have Revan anyway, Yoda is far from a priority. He really started to click with the Revan team and somewhat in the Bastila team as well. I did run him as a leader in Phase 1 of the Heroic Sith Raid in the early days. I believe someone called it Yodelicious or something along those lines. But I was running at a tab before that and just didn't bother naming it. Right, speed not going to be essential for Yoda. This is actually, if you're copying my account, that would make sense. I have speed on him purely because I was using him as a Malik counter, and for that he had to go before the ultra fast Bastards that are on my Shad, but it's not actually optimal. Go for an offense primary on this one because you're going to get so much turn meter and assist attacks, you're not going to need that speed. So yeah, get rid of that as soon as you can, swap it for some offense. I highly doubt you're using him as a Malik counter when he's gear 11 anyway, so that'd be the only reason you would need it. Offense primary, yep, that's absolutely fine, quite optimal. Obviously, the secondaries aren't all that great. I would probably look at finding a replacement mod for this rather than 6-dotting this one personally. Yep, same again. You got decent offense primary. That's what you want there. Good bit of crit chance to that too. That is a nice offense secondary. Oh, that's a good 126. That's and protection is ideal for him. So yeah, that mod's fine. Maybe you're compensating with that speed arrow because you don't really have any speed on these other mods. And sure, Yoda doesn't need a lot, but he could definitely benefit from some. Yes, definitely. 39 total. I see where you've got it. I see why you have it. But that's not actually an offensive, or should I say, scarily bad offense damage for Yoda, considering your gear level. But really, he's going to need a fair bit of work before he's going to be bringing some decent viability to your Padme team, in my opinion. As he is right now, honestly, I would still use 3PO. I really would. I don't think he's bringing enough to your team in regards to mods, in regards to damage. So yeah, still a fair bit of work to go on Yoda. But I can see he's only one piece away from Gear 12. He'll definitely get a nice boost around Gear 12, and he's incredible once you've got him Relic. I currently have him Relic 4, and he's blowing my mind with the sheer damage he outputs, let alone it's 7. All right, who do you want looked at next? Jedi Knight Anakin. That's the wrong Anakin, Damien. Where is it? Oh, wow, Gear 12. Okay. Oh, so you've got the point 4 and 5 pieces. You've got additional speed on Annie. Mod-wise, what are we gone for? He's gone for offense, and he's gone for health. Speed, yep, fine. Crit damage, yep. Offense, okay, yeah, that's not a terrible choice. A lot of people will go potency on that, but it depends again what they're using the team for. If you're using for Malik, you're probably going to want that potency. If you're using him in the Heroic Sith Raid, then you're not going to want that potency at all, and it could be possible you simply switched the mods recently for that purpose. Oh, look at that offense, 154, very nice. Right, so yeah, not the worst modded Anakin in the world. I would personally probably go offense and potency, or crit damage and potency on your Anakin. I feel potency just plays a really big role in him. I'm sure it's buff immunity and heal immunity he inflicts here. It is both. And that can shut down so many teams. It causes so many problems for so many teams. It's going to be essential if you want to stop those nest teams soloing you. And it's going to be pretty much essential as well for Malak, I believe. I don't use them a lot against Malak, but anytime I have done, it's been those that have come into play and have saved my bacon. So let's have a look at his overall stuff. That speed is fine, really, for Anakin. Although the problem here is your Padme is too quick. So it's not really that Anakin's massively too slow. It's your Padme is way too fast. I often like my Anakin to go before my Padme. You can use your special, get protection up across the team, just so you can withstand those initial onslaughts that you'll often face against many of the squads that will come at your Padme team. Crit damage, yeah, see, personally I prefer a crit damage set on him to have that nice and high. Saying that, obviously when you crit Malak, you're going to get feared anyway, so a lot of people do prefer offense for that very reason. I'm just a diehard with my crit sets, dude. I just like that extra pop when he lands those massive crits, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with an offense set. Potency is very, very low for Anakin. His debuffs really are one of the key features of the Padme team, so I would definitely do something about that. Physical offense, well, he's gear 12.3, so that's, yeah. it's not really something we can point out as glaringly bad. For that gear, it's fine, but obviously the Padme team isn't going to have its great success until both Ahsoka and Anakin are really doing those huge damage numbers for you, and you don't even have Yoda to really carry you in that respect right now. Where is little Snips? I believe she's next on your little list. Yeah, there she is. Oh yeah, you remodded her for the gas team anyway, which is exactly the same modding. Some people again will prefer offense over the crits for her, because of the same reason, fear and blah blah. But I've just kept it with the crit chance and the crit damage, because she crits essentially every single attack. And as soon as you've got her out of the gas team, she's going to be critting out of turn anyway. And I've had no difficulty when I'm facing those Malak teams when I'm using my Ahsoka like this, because the damage numbers she does are absolutely terrifying. So even though she will get feared, the damage numbers make up for it anyway when she is landing. And her base crit chance is pretty high. So even with offense sets, you're most likely going to get feared anyway. So I really wouldn't worry too much about that. Stick with what you're doing. Ahsoka's fine. You've left Kenobi. Oh no, there he is. Yeah, sorry, I didn't see him on your list. Let's have a look at General Kenobi then. 2 defense, 4 health. I don't see anything wrong with that. Going for speed on him. Yeah, that's going to be fine. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you seem to know what you're doing in regards to Kenobi. I imagine most people do at this stage. Really, the more protection, the more health, the more defense secondaries you can get on him, the better. That's kind of Kenobi in a nutshell, isn't it? Spend all your carbanties and your stun guns and then stack him with protection. And then just watch him do his thing, really. He is very, very slow there, but to be honest, I don't really like my Kenobi going before my Padme anyway. I know some people do, but I find the problem is I want to get counter on my team, and all he's going to do is take away all those debuffs that Padme needs to cleanse and turn into protection up. So having him slow and Padme is fine, in my opinion. Some people do like him quick in a Revan team, but that's not going to matter for you. You don't have Revan, so never mind. Right, team number 3, because obviously team 1 was 501st, and I've already sorted that for you through Patreon messaging. It's your Grievous team next. Ooh, this should be fun. My kryptonite, as we've seen in many a stream. Where is your general? There he is. Right. Okay, gone the right way. I see some people still put crit sets on Grievous. It's like, are you not reading his kits? Seriously? Alright, so speed on him. I don't personally find Grievous needs to be all that quick, to be honest. I really wouldn't worry too much about that. Crit damage, that's absolutely fine. Want to maximize how hard he hits, particularly if you're going to have him as an option for the nuke. Yep, health primary and nice health secondary there. Some good crit chance as well. Good stuff. I'm sure you've probably just done that for the speed, because obviously the rest of it doesn't really have a great deal of benefit to him. Very, very nice health primary 6 dot though, which is going to come in handy. I see you getting quite a bit of potency on him. Have a look. Yeah, I mean, you could probably use a little bit more crit chance in those secondaries. Let's have a look at his overall stats. Very good health pool. Speed is fine. Crit damage is a little bit is a little bit low, but you know, we can't really sacrifice to put in an actual crit damage set, in my opinion. And all that's really missing there is just having that triangle 6 started, and you'll get to that eventually. I think you've got other mods that are going to be more important to deal with first. Yeah, so what's that crit chance? 58%. I would definitely try and get that up if I was you, because at the moment you're probably not benefiting massively from the crit damage primary. In all honesty, you probably benefit more from a crit chance primary at this stage, due to just how low your crit chance is. That will go up with his relic, however. So yeah, eventually you'll be fine anyway. You can get away with it if you're running him, you know, in a nuke team. You're going to get additional crit chance from several of the other droids, but in his own team, you're really going to need it from your secondaries. Right, next on the agenda, where is B1? Why can I not see B1? Oh, there he is, relic. I was looking for gear 12, my bad. Right, let's have a look at these mods. Yeah, good bit of speed, nice bit of potency on him. Get rid of this. Get rid of this right now. I'm 99. I'm just going to double check because I don't want to be an idiot and say this, but I'm 99% sure B1 doesn't crit. I'm sure all of his moves do true damage. Probably in his unique somewhere. Yeah, he can't score critical hits or be revived. So get rid of that crit damage. Immediately swap it for offense. You're getting absolutely 0 from that. It's the reason a lot of people using Barriss in their teams to counter the Grievous droids fail massively. She does nothing. She only heals and stabilizes the team when they're being critted, and the team pretty much don't crit at all. So yeah, get rid of that. Offense, yep, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, really, swap that and anything for preferably a little bit more speed on B1. The quicker he goes, the quicker he's going to keep them stacks up. Especially if you're under Grievous, because Grievous just rips his stacks down, and it could be a real problem. Yeah, this is actually quite slow for a B1. Yes, that is 45. Yikes. Definitely try and speed up B1 if you can, and like I said, get that crit damage primary off. Oh, wow, yeah, that's one of those mistakes I see a lot of people use. I see it as well on Droideka, and if I remember right, Droideka's exactly the same. We'll go to him now just because I've said that, and I don't want that lingering and people calling me an idiot. But if I remember right, he also does true damage. Can't critically hit with the basic. Can't critically hit with that one either. Yeah, so he does true damage as well. No criticals, just make sure you're not doing the same here. You're not, fortunately. Good. But yeah, I see a lot of people doing that. Even the mod meta was saying most people were doing it, and it's just a pure facepalm. So yeah, get rid of that crit chance set as well, because it's going to do nothing for you. You can't crit. But speed, really, Droideka hits hardest when there's a bigger gap in your speed and their speed. So having him slow is preferable, but sometimes a little speed can help Droideka. Because if he is too slow, sometimes he just doesn't even get going. As we saw in the General Skywalker event, I actually had to kind of speed him up a little bit, but not too much, to get things really working effectively. There's nothing really wrong here other than the fact you've got a crit chance set on. Get rid of it, chuck on a health set or something along those lines, just to give Droideka a little bit more shield about him. You know, keep him around. Absorbing that damage even when he doesn't have the damage immunity. So yeah, crit chance is no use to you, neither is crit damage. Next, Magna Guard. Okay, you've gone for a lot of tenacity and a bit of health, I see. Have a look at the overall before we go and have a look at those primaries and such. I know a lot of people do like defense on Magna Guard, which is actually really quite handy because his base armor, as you can see, is very nice. Having that additional armor on him can actually make him a real problem. Crit avoidance, okay, that's fine. Go for health on him, some protection, more protection. Yeah, you're mixing it up all right. I've seen much worse modded Magna Guards than that. He's far from your priority as something you must fix right now. We found some other glaring holes in your current mod setups, more so than this one. So yeah, I really wouldn't worry about him right now, but yeah, I'll definitely look at bringing some defense to him. because he really just does gain a lot from it. As you can see, he also gains 20% defense for additional target locked enemies, so it's just going to get even higher. He's also getting that bit of tenacity there, so try and bring a little defense to it. Even if it's just in secondaries, you're probably going to gain a fair bit from that. All right, last member of the team. My mind has gone blank. B2, that's the one. B2. Right, this guy is just all about potency and not about speed, so yeah, it looks like you're... Yeah, you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing with this one. Yeah, plenty of defense in those secondaries as well. Speed nice and low. Potency nice and high. Nothing really to look at. Your B2 is absolutely fine. Just needs more gear like all of our B2s really, because who can massively prioritize making him a relic right now? I certainly can't. Right, next team. Rebels. Ugh. Yes, this is a team that I personally need to do a lot of work on myself. I've actually begun kind of remodeling them a little recently too. Commander Luke, 12.3. Let's have a look. Crit damage and potency. Absolutely nothing wrong with that in my opinion. Yep, speed, crit damage. Offense, yeah, offense or potency there is fine. You've got some potency from a separate set itself, so that's all right. Protection, some good chance and offense on the secondaries there too. So you got some pretty good secondaries on Luke. So he's definitely a little slow. I mean, I'd feel a lot more comfortable if he was quicker than that. You run a real risk of, you know, Luke and his team taking too much damage too early if they're all going to be this slow. That said, you know, if you're using him on offense and you're picking your battles carefully, you should be absolutely fine, even with those slow speeds. But I wouldn't want to run him up against a team that has some sort of turn meter manipulation or control. For that reason, it's probably going to take him a long time to get his TM up as a result. Let's have a look at the next. Let's go Han. He's usually pretty vital to these. Speed, that's fine. Some people prefer offense on him, but speed is fine. Crit damage. I see speed being a glaring issue on quite a few of these teams, but, you know, mods are RNG, so I get it. I get it, dude. I really do. Wow, yeah, this is an incredibly slow Han Solo. I see where you've probably gone for the speed arrow as a result. Crit chance is all right. He gets a bit anyway from usually R2 and such, so I really wouldn't panic too much about that, but I would probably swap this health primary for an offense, really. Han isn't all that tanky, so if he's going to die anyway, regardless of you trying to prevent it with one health cross. You may as well make a little bit more out of his initial pop with an offense primary, in my opinion. Where's Chewbacca? Speed there. This is another case where some people will prefer an offense primary on this because he's going to be assisting an awful lot, particularly if Luke and Han are quite quick. He's going to get those additional assists and a lot more damage. I can't even remember what I personally use, but I'm probably going to gear towards putting an offense one on there myself. You've got a good bit of offense on secondary at least. Yeah, crit damage, offense. Yeah, it's just the same thing again, really. Just try and get his offense a little bit higher and do what you can with speed, because your rebels are incredibly slow. But I mean, you've got them fourth on your list of importance, so yeah, it makes sense why they're like that. You've been prioritizing the other characters. Speed and potency, that's a little bit different for R2. Let's have a look. Good crit chance on that secondary, very, very important on R2, especially if you're going to run him in the resistance team. Crit damage, I really wouldn't have gone for that, dude. Go for a crit chance one again. Gives you a lot more use when it comes to those, you know, using him with Rey. Crits lead to exposes lead to more TM control and damage. So yeah, having him crit on a burn is awesome. We get 5 exposes across the team, so crit chance is more important than his damage, because let's face it, R2's not really killing anybody. He's there to just aid the team. Protection, not the worst choice in the world. I mean, that would be my second choice. I'd probably prefer a potency primary if I was you. Get a little bit more burn around there. Make a little bit more out of his stun. Yeah, protection or health would be fine there, really. You got very nice defense on this. I like that mod. That's a pretty good mod for him. So yeah, I mean, if you don't use him with resistance at all, then I get the potency set. Personally, I like to have him modded in a way that I can plug him into multiple teams. So I would swap the potency set out for a crit chance set, change that primary on the triangle to crit chance, and the primary on the cross to potency, and it gives him a little bit more plug and play use without having to mess with his mods too often. That would be my advice there. Yeah, looking at that, I just think he needs a little bit more tuning. Now, who else? Oh, 3PO. Yes, you use him here instead of Padme. You probably get much more use out of him in the Padme team, in my opinion, purely because of the fact that you don't really have very high gears and such on the Padme team. Yep, speed. Wow, look at that offense. What a shame. If I was you, I would see if you can swap. See if you've got another speed potency mod that you can put on someone else and give that kind of secondary to a potency using character that needs to do some damage. I don't know, Darth Vader or something would be more preferable in my opinion. But I've got things like that all across my own account too. So yeah, protection, potency. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with this at all. This looks absolutely fine. Yeah, 3PO's fine. Don't worry about that at all. Much bigger things to deal with than your 3PO. Right, is there any other rebel you could possibly swap in here? Trying to think who you could bring in exchange for giving 3PO back to Padme. You don't really have any of them highly developed. I mean, your old Space Wizard down here has got a long way to go. Ahsoka Fulcrum is just one of those missed opportunities, in my opinion, by CG when they took away her Phoenix tag in development. Yeah, I get why you're using him there, because you don't really have another option. Right, let's have a look at your bounty hunters. You go for Bosk Lead, you say? Bosk Lead. Right. Yeah, defense is fine. That'd be a very annoying boss to deal with, especially once you've tanked him out a little bit. I would probably drop this, though. I mean, boss doesn't really do a great deal of damage. You're relying on him to stay alive and call those assists to the actual damage dealers. So yeah, I would probably drop that for more protection or something along those lines. Tenacity, yeah, very nice. Bosks with high tenacity are incredibly annoying. Especially if you're using resistance against them. So look at those overalls. I mean, Bosk is very slow. Really, Bosk needs to be quite quick to interrupt a lot of teams. At that speed, that tenacity is probably not going to manage to save you because it's not even that high at 53. So I would really try and speed him up, even if you've got to change some of the sets here. Perhaps throw in a tenacity set as well as that primary, just to try and get that tenacity up a little bit more. I would aim for... Really, God, you're going to want another like 40 to 60 speed on him, really. Yeah, that might be hard for you to do, and obviously your bounty hunter is your 5th priority team, but yeah, I mean, that's a little something to think about for the future. Who else is even in this team? Who are you using? I assume you're using Dengar, because he's just bloody annoying and all that. Going for offense, yeah, keeping him in stealth as long as possible, I assume. More offense, lots of potency for them thermal detonators. Yeah, there's nothing really wrong with Dengar there. Man, 16. I mean, he doesn't need speed, but it's been a while since I've seen a 16. Yeah, he'll be absolutely fine. 80 potency. Again, much bigger problems elsewhere to deal with. Have a look at your Boba. Really, you got to get Django built. I'm in exactly the same boat as you. My Django isn't very good at all. And he looks like a big omission from your team here. I would swap that for crit damage as soon as you can. I would swap this protection one for either offense or potency as soon as you can. That ability block, I believe it's a double turn ability block as well. Flicked ability block on target for 2 turns. Yeah, that's very handy, especially if you're going to use them against Night Sisters. Gives amazing control if you can make sure the target, because obviously if you've not been killed already, you're able to ignore taunt. Make sure the target is Talzin, and she's got no chance of getting any use of that plague, because 2 turns she's just kind of stuck there. Using her basic can be very helpful for your bounty hunters on offense. Yeah, wow, that's a nice potency secondary there. So yeah, a little bit of tuning to do a Boba. You've definitely got to speed him up too. Definitely got to speed him up. That'd be very easy to take him down and get rid of his revival buff there, and then he won't be able to ignore taunt. So, got to speed up Boba. Greedo's all about those crits. All about those crits we can just spam repeatedly with this bad boy. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at his chances like. 53. Really going to want to get that higher. Definitely got to do something about getting that a little bit higher. I'd possibly even swap this crit damage primary for a crit chance primary. At least until you ever decided to relic the Rodian and get a little bit more use out of him that way. Defense, you want to swap that for potency or offense. And the other ones don't particularly matter. Cad Bane would probably be my choice here to use as your 5th member over IG-88, because IG-88 just doesn't impress me. He's got a decent ship, and he's fun to use in the nuke. Outside of that, he's just too squish, man. Just too squishy. Just, yeah, there's much better options. And really, the 5th option would probably be Jango Fett anyway, but much like mine, yours is far from ready to use. I think mine's gear 9, so at least he's a little closer, but still, long way to go. Cad's all about speed, evasion, and getting those stuns off. He's got a very, very nice base offense, however, and that double tap on Gunslinger is really, really handy. Really speeds up getting those contracts done too. Oh, I would definitely swap that one out. Anything offense based, like the offense ones or the crits, something along those lines. Again, swap that one out. Offense or potency would be quite handy because Cad also has a very, very nice stun. Yeah, and also dispels. So yeah, very, very handy, especially if you can land that stun on them too. Get a good bit of control. It's a really, really nice amount of protection, to be fair, on that Cad Bane. Puts mine to shame, and I'm a big Cad Bane fan. Right, who's team number 6? The Empire. Right, Empire. Where are you at? Wow, yes, a bit like mine. A bit like mine there. They're a team that need a lot of love. That Palpatine definitely needs that one piece, because Palpatine Gear 11 just does not do the business. Tarkin's fine though. I mean, I'm still using mine at Gear 10. But let's have a look at Palp. He's got both Zetas. You've opted for speed and potency. Drop that immediately, because you've got no speed here anyway. So you're not that additional, what is it, 10% or something you gain from one of those sets? Yeah, 10% of nothing is nothing. So yeah, just don't even worry about that right now. Palp doesn't really have a particularly high base speed anyway. Swap it for an offense set. Offense and potency is very, very nice on Palpatine. Once you've got all those stuns coming from that additional potency, he can really do some scary damage. Some really, really nice damage. Drop that one. Go for an offense primary on Palpatine. I can't remember last time I used a crit primary. It was probably on the days of Chirpatine in the heroic AAT when it was difficult. Obviously, potency primary on that. And yeah, just the usuals. You want as much potency as you can on Palpatine. The more stuns, the more shock, the more control this team is going to have. And you're just going to keep constantly getting turns, at which point speed won't be so vital. But as it stands right now, 67% isn't enough. Mine's around 100%, and I still have the difficulty landing a lot of debuffs. So you've definitely got to get that up. And as I said, offense, because you're not gaining anything from that speed set right there. Right, the rest of the team. Who did you suggest? Vader, Tarkin, Thrawn, +1. Okay, let's look at Thrawn. Yeah, I mean, that looks fine. A lot of people will go for speed and health or tenacity or something along those lines, but nothing really wrong with a crit chance. I really wouldn't go for an offense primary on that, though. I'd definitely go for a speed one. Thrawn's all about going first, getting Fracture out, and having some control of the battles. He's not really there to do offensive damage, in all honesty. I mean, he hits okay, but I mean, he's far from like Ty or Palpatine or something in that regard, so... let's have a look at his overall. Yeah, that's... Whoa, yeah, 23? That needs to be about 123, really. So, yes, definitely going to need to do something about that. Because he's one of those characters that will plug into essentially any team, which is the reason he's remained viable for so long. So, yeah, definitely... Even if you're going to, leave Empire until a last-minute faction to actually develop, you're probably going to want to develop Thrawn before then, because you're going to be able to plug him into those other squads that you're prioritizing. So, yeah, definitely. I mean, for primary here, protection, tenacity, I mean, offense is okay, I suppose, but I don't think it's particularly optimal. Yeah, that'll be fine. And for that one, speed. And you've got to get some more secondaries on there for sure. You really, really do need to. I don't really know if it's worth leaving the crit chance on there. You can do, but I mean, I would probably go for health. He's not very tanky. You know, Thrawn goes down quite easily, and once he's down, that's the end of your control in regards to fracture and stuff. So yeah, I'd probably put health on him anyway. Let's have a look. Vader, speed and crit chance again. Okay. Yeah, see, that one should go to Thrawn. Crit damage, offense. Okay. Look, I mean, he's still very, very slow. In all honesty, you're going to want some potency in there as well. You're going to want to make use of as many of those debuffs as you can get. And at the moment, that potency at 35%. I know you're getting a little bonus anyway from Palpatine, but that's really, really not high enough in all honesty. The crit damage is fine. You know, when he slings that Cullen blade, it can do some crazy, crazy damage. And speed, again, isn't an awful choice, because obviously you want Vader to go first, get the TM train going, so you can make an argument for that. However, a speed set, when you're only getting 50 from it anyway, you're not going to get any value from that. So if he's going to be that slow, you may as well replace the speed set with potency or even offense or something along those lines, to be totally honest with you. But yeah, I mean, you can see that you're going to get speed down, you're going to get dots, you're going to get ability blocks, along with the big damage and such. So yeah, you really want to be maximizing his kit, and current mods are not doing that, unfortunately. So optimally, a potency primary there, offense, crit damage, kind of whatever you want really there. There's no absolute defined must-have primary on that one. Speed primary, obviously, protection, and then those two can't be changed anyway. So really want to look for those potency secondaries if you can. And the more health and defense on Vader, the better. He's quite a tanky character when he's ramped up to the game's current power curve anyway. Who was the other one we want? Tarkin. Your Tarkin's probably better than mine. Some potency and speed. Let's have a look. Action primary, crit chance, potency. Yeah, I mean, this isn't bad, but again, you're using a speed set when you're getting no secondaries, so you're not really benefiting from that extra 10% on your base stat, because you're not bringing any additional secondaries to stack on top of it afterwards. So yeah, I mean, like plus 27, you may as well not run the speed set and run something else until you've got some decent secondaries available. Obviously, you're going to want the potency there because you want to land all of these. You're going to gain potency up anyway. And I believe, doesn't he change his like overall potency into defense or something along those lines? Potency percentage. Yes, so yeah, the more potency, the better. The tankier is going to be, the longer it's going to take to kill him, and the more you can get off moves like this and reduce the turn meter of your enemy, allowing more control for Palpatine. So it's not, you've not got him badly modded, you just don't have him optimally modded in the regards to the fact you're using the speed set when you've got no secondaries. So yeah, you're gaining that 10% on your base stat, which is fine, but if you're going to put nothing with it, you're not getting the most value from it, and you would probably be able to get that 27 extra speed if you just use standard mods with some secondaries anyway. So yeah, potency and speed would be fine for him. Potency and health, potency and whatever, really. Potency and defense. It's not really going to matter. You're just going to want him a little bit quicker so you can get that control of the enemy a little bit faster. Because looking at your Empire team right now, obviously, they rely heavily on debuffing, keeping the TM train going, stunning and controlling the enemy. But you would actually possibly have issues with even a calf team here, because you're going to be so slow. They're probably going to get a lot of damage off before you can even get the train going, and your potencies are all quite low on a lot of your characters. There's a good chance they're going to resist those crucial shocks and stuff, and Zalbar and Mission to start taking your team out. So definitely want to fine-tune this a bit, because your gears aren't horrendous. Your gears are higher than mine, but my team is significantly quicker. So I would definitely look at that. For a +1, TIE Pilot's a great +1 in my opinion. You've got buff immunity, and you've got... Obviously, you've got ability block as well. What's the ability block on? Just one you had ability block. Where is it? Maybe it's with the Omega, because I can see yours is level 7. Right. For sets on TIE, honestly, I just went maximize his damage. Went for crit damage, crit chance on him. Because I believe he sticks this on a critical, doesn't he? Yeah, tenacity down on a critical hit. So more crit chance is going to help there. Gains 32% chance for foresight in his turn. Gains 10% turn meter when they're debuffed. Okay. Yeah, so I mean, it definitely wouldn't be a bad choice to also stick some potency as a primary on this one, just to maximize your chances to hit buff immunity. You've only got an 80% chance anyway, even if your potency is like 200%. You're only going to get an 80% chance to actually roll that 200% potency, but still, anything you can do to just help out a little bit would be ideal. And Ty is probably the next best option, really. Guard doesn't really do a lot for me. You're going to want to keep the troopers together. Shaw's really just one of those kind of missed opportunities. He's a character that used to be great, and now, I mean, like, he's not even really any good against the Night Sisters because he's too slow to keep the heal train going, and the cooldown's too large on it. So Shaw's kind of fallen out of relevance anyway. And that doesn't leave a lot of other characters outside of Stormtrooper and Royal Guard. So yeah, I would go TIE Pilot as your +1. Right, the last team you wanted me to look at was your Ewoks. Let's have a look. You've suggested Chirpa, Wicket, Paplu, Teebo, and Elder. Why no? Oh, okay, that's why no Logray. I was reading your list, and yeah, now I see why there's no Logray. You've got to develop him, dude. He's one of the most crucial little Ewoks in the team. So much control. You've got Foresight coming from this one. You've got Daze, TM reduction. I can't even remember what that one does. Oh, Tenacity up, which is also quite handy, obviously. One of the best ways to beat Ewoks is to just daze them and keep them stunned and take out Elder and Logray quickly, and it's all over. But yeah, gonna need a lot of work. An awful lot of work. You've actually got him over at 6-star already. However, I do see you've actually got some very, very good gear on your Ewoks. I wonder why you're using Teebo over Scout. I would probably go Scout over Teebo purely for the additional punch. You've got damage from Wicket, but we all know with Ewoks, Wicket's the only one that does any bloody damage. So having Scout there, you've got a second damage dealer. Now, I haven't really used Teebo since killing Nest, really. And before that, it would have been all the way back in the Rancor days. That said, you've got all his Omegas. Let's have a look. Potency 100%, not bad at all. Not bad at all. Yeah, I mean, that doesn't look like a terrible Teebo by any means. You could probably get him a little bit quicker, make more use of that basic, but yeah, I would swap that one for a speed primary if you can. It's not like he's going to do a whole lot of actual damage. What we're really looking forward to him doing is actually removing the TM and the tiny smidge of offense. I mean, what is his offense? I can't imagine it's really much of anything. 3,000, yeah. So I would drop that one for a speed primary, just to fine-tune Teebo a little bit. I'm sure you've got all these kind of where you need them anyway. Not much really to do on Teebo. He doesn't really have all that many uses. I mean, he's quite handy if you come up against like a solo Grievous, but as I've already shown, you can do that with the rest of the normal Ewoks and don't even need Teebo for it. So shouldn't actually be that difficult. Let's have a look at Chief Chirpa. Yeah, some people go the crit route. I personally do. Others go the speed route. I think you've probably got this absolutely fine. I see you're not going for a lot of speed on the team. I know they gain 10% TM on basics and such on the Chirpa, and you've got additional TM coming from Wicket Special. But I would probably feel more comfortable if you start getting a couple of more speed primaries, because you're very slow to begin with. That's leaving the enemy a good deal of time to get all their turns off and shut you down before your TM train begins. So the quicker you get that TM train going, the better. Obviously, I would swap that one as well. You want to be critting as much as possible. Wow, it's a lot of offense on that bad boy. Nice mod. Yeah, I mean, Chirpa looks fine outside of just needing a little bit more speed and the primary of the triangle changed. Let's have a look at Paplu. Oh, nice. Lots of defense mods. Hopefully he's nice and quick, because Paplu is the fast one. Yeah, some speed on that one. Crit chance, okay. Well, I'm imagining you've used that purely because of the speed you're going to gain. Nothing on that one. I'd probably swap that out if you can for some protection or something along those lines. Got protection there, which is good. Okay. I really wouldn't recommend 6-dotting mods when they don't have any speed. You know what? The speed is king in this game, even on teams where they say you don't need to be ultra fast, you still need to be like 60 or 80 or something along those lines. Yeah, 48 is not going to be quick enough for Paplu. Paplu's got to get going first. Usually call like Ewok Elder or something along those lines. Some people will call Wicket even, just for that additional damage right off the bat. But yeah, you want to get that turn meter train going quick. So the quicker Paplu moves, the better success you're going to have against teams. At the moment, I can see those Grievous teams just getting off, particularly even the lone Grievous is going to get attacks before you're going to do a whole lot. So yeah, I definitely feel more comfortable if you did that. A bit more speed, and unfortunately, I mean, that's probably your best secondary here, isn't it? So, but yeah, swap that one out for some protection as well. Paplu's not doing the damage. I mean, he's pretty much just removing the buffs and, yeah, boosting more defense and stuff along those lines. I often call Wicket with this one, once we've got the actual train moving. I mean, because, yeah, look at his damage, 28. What's 5% more? You know, yes, that's not doing anything to particularly help you, but keeping Paplu alive is going to help you, so go that route. Let's have a look at Wickets. Okay, good. Crit sets. I cry when I see people use offense sets, because the team gain turn meter for every crit scored, so that drives me absolutely mad when I see people use offense sets on him with no crit chance. I mean, that's nice. We got offense on both of those secondaries there. Crit damage, good stuff. Protection. Now, this is one of those occasions where you'd be much better off with an offense one, actually, because Wicket does all the damage for the team. Health. Okay, yeah, I see what you got there. You got good crit chance secondary and a really good offense secondary, so yeah, I wouldn't panic about needing protection on him there. Lots of offense. Some really good offense secondaries in your mods. It's a shame you just don't have much speed in them. I mean, Wicket's pretty slow, but he's not the one that's really generating the turn meter right at the start. So, I mean, if you can get Paplu moving faster, and hopefully your Ewok Elder's got a little bit of speed too, then Wicket will gain enough turn meter through them kind of getting things going to the point he can spam his AoE and help the whole team out, and you'll be okay. But I would, again, you probably want to shoot for something like 230, 250, something like that, really. Let's have a look then at Elder. Okay, yes, speed. Hopefully there is actually some secondaries to this, because speed there. Protection. Okay. I'm not seeing a lot of secondaries though, so he's not going to be... I mean, 81, that's not bad. It's just a shame Paplu isn't a bit faster, because between Elder and Paplu, you're going to get things going. So yeah, that would definitely help if you can do something about Paplu. That would transform how your Ewoks are performing. And I love using Ewoks. They're quite a fun team. They can actually beat quite a few squads that people don't expect them to be able to beat. Very, very handy for clearing those B teams in Grand Arena. So a 60% chance to gain. The others would gain that. Spell them all. Allies recover health equal to his max health. So yes, that's what I was thinking. I was sat there looking at those protection ones. You probably heard it in my voice. You're going to be better off with health primaries at 6-dot than you are. So obviously don't swap them for those 5-dot ones right away, because you know, that's what, like 15% total. You're really going to want to get them 6-dot on those health primaries to really have Ewok Elder pop in there. So you've really got a really good health recovery for him. And speed is absolutely fine on him. That's quite a good option. But some people actually take the crit avoidance route. I actually did this, I believe, in the 3PO event. And I had really good Ewoks, and I was struggling for some reason. My team were just flopping. They were too quick and not survivable enough. And I ended up changing them a little bit and actually put crit avoidance on them. And I beat it first time. It was absolutely beautiful, because they just couldn't take my Elder down. He kept bringing everyone back. So crit avoidance is another option for you, but only if you've got enough speed coming from elsewhere. Even if I was going to use crit avoidance, I'd still want like 80 odd, and you'll drop to 50 odd if you swapped. So maybe look at that kind of thing later on once the rest of your Ewoks are fine-tuned. But hopefully that helped you out. I know you've said you're going to start farming for the Revens once you've geared your gas team. So yes, I would definitely get on that. But obviously, I'd build up TIE Pilot, I'd build up Logray, because they're going to be great additions to your Ewok and Empire team. Obviously, your Django too for your bounty hunters, and I mean, that pretty much sums up your account. I've already helped you with gas, and you've said you've had some great success since listening, so hopefully this will help you out, mate. Hit me up if you need any more advice. Feel free, anyone watching, to leave some comments in if you want to pitch in and help the guy out. And yeah, hopefully we can get his account moving in a much more optimal direction for him. Thank you for being a patron and supporting the 125th Legion and my channel. Till next time, we out here.